Hello, I'm Milo. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day today. And today is 5 days after Gibbon's birthday, and I always like to ask her to request something of me around the time of her birthday. So this year, what she's requested is that I play the Nintendo classic Clu Clu Land. But of course, I had to go beyond that, and there's going to be a lot more to this stream than just playing Clu Clu Land. Hi Gibbon, how you going? Oh, pistachio ice cream, that sounds amazing. I wish I had some. So, Clu Clu Land started in 1984 on the Famicom, later ported to the NES. Or did it? There's actually more. Let me see here. I've got... Just to start off, you may have, even if you don't know about Clu Clu Land at all, Bubbles, the fish, she's apparently a fish, got a trophy in Melee on the right here, and the Unira was an item in Smash Brothers since Brawl, and that's its trophy in the middle there for Brawl. On the left is the Famicom label artwork for the game, but yeah, we do have to go back in time. Whoops, to an earlier point. Yep, sorry, just gotta set it all up. Okay. Because Bubbles had an earlier appearance. Oh, that's messed up. Just do that. Looks fine. Okay. This is Pinball. Nintendo had a pinball game on the NES, but they also had an arcade system called the Nintendo Versus system, which was based on Famicom hardware. So I've entered a coin. So we're now in the arcade, huddled around a cabinet of Versus Pinball in Japan. We're in Japan right now. Oh no, it lost my controller profile. Okay, this one and this one? Yeah, okay. So, yeah. There's a little secret in this game. Not in the NES version, only in the arcade Versus version. It's got a lot of features in common, but often the Versus releases of these games had quite different content. Maybe they were multiplayer focused. Sometimes it was just a little thing. With this one, we're going to look at those little chickens down the bottom. Once you pass over those sections between the flippers, chickens hatch from eggs. If you manage to line it up such that you have 3 chickens at once on screen, then you get little bumpers in the left and right. Oh, well, never mind. I don't know what they call them. The little bits on the sides that, oops, that the ball falls down. And you otherwise can't save it, but you can unlock these savers. And this is a feature in a lot of pinball games, and especially video pinball games. Yeah, it's gone again. That's alright, I made a save state. So if I just hit this button, I'm on the wrong one apparently, so this one. Okay, so on this save state, I have the bumpers ready, and I also have 2 of the chickens hatched, so I only need to do that. And there you go. There's a bit of a graphical error, probably because of emulation on MAME. But once there's 3 chickens there, the bumpers are there, you hatch the chickens again, they turn pink, that unlocks this extra ball saver, where this character comes up from the bottom of the screen and saves your ball. Now, if you don't recognize that character, it's a really obscure thing. I'll show you. I've never really experimented with this game before. Oh, why has it done that? Okay, I know why it's done that. But there was, on the Famicom, a piece of software called Family Basic. And this was like a game-making toolkit almost. Like, it came with a keyboard, and you could program your own games into it, which was really cool. It came with some pre-built sprites in there, including full sprite set for Pauline to make her playable in a Donkey Kong-like game. But what we're looking at is third row. Can I zoom in any more than that? Third row, this sort of bird-like character here. This is apparently called Achilles, and we just saw a red recolor of it, Save Our Ball in Versus Pinball Japanese edition. Okay? Okay. That's the setup. Now back to the game. Because we're leaving Japan, we're going to get on a plane, and we're going to fly over to the rest of the world, where there's a version of Versus Pinball that made some changes. Not very obvious changes. Okay, our buttons are still the same, that's good. Oh, hey Tony, how's it going? Good to see ya. Tony says, Clu Clu Land is great. Yeah, I'll be getting to it soon. I just need to cover an earlier appearance of the main character Bubbles first. Oh, my buttons got reversed. That's weird. Oh, we've already done that. I had a save state set up. Oh yeah, it's messed up already. Tony says they should stream Meat Boy. That would be cool. It's always fun to watch. Especially if you're good at it. Are you good at it? I wonder. I'm only okay at it. Yeah, that's right, Gibbon. I didn't point that out, but there's a lot of sprites in there taken from Donkey Kong Jr., and these penguins too. They're in there, and then Hudson later used those sprites. I don't know how, they must have licensed them or something, but Hudson used them in their port of, it's on the Mario Wiki page, Binary Land, I believe it's called. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a save state for this too. And there you go. Sorry, I didn't really explain it, but I'd set up a save state where I'd already unlocked the 3 pink chickens, and then my ball immediately fell down. And so in the international version, who appears instead of Achilles, it's Bubbles from Clu Clu Land in a pre-Clu Clu Land appearance. I'll go back to gameplay now to show you there's a bit of a palette problem with her. As she passes over that, the black part of her sprite is just transparent, showing the background, but when she flies over those bumpers, it shows beneath her. Oh, we got to the bonus! That's great! That's awesome! I had a save state for this too, but I can just show this. This is, it's really hard. I rarely got in here while playing myself. But yeah, it's a little Mario and Pauline thing. I've seen a ROM hack of Super Mario Brothers, which replaces Mario with Pauline, and it uses those sprites of her running back and forth as the basis of her animation set, which I think is pretty cool. And if you... It's like a little Arkanoid thing. Nah, I messed it up. But if you knock out enough of... If you get enough of those... things lit up in the right way or whatever, then she falls down and then you catch her and it's all good. So yeah, Pauline's here too. The stream is complete. Okay, just to catch up on chat, Pinball, Tony had a bootleg DDR pad with Pinball on it that had removed Nintendo mentions. That's really interesting. I think I might have covered something similar on a previous stream where I had a little arcade handheld with bootleg versions of games with the copyright stuff removed, and one of them was NES Pinball, so it might even be the same company who made that. Do we get to add Clu Clu lineage to DK Goda by way of different versions of Pinball? Gibbon, I think there's a very strong possibility that there's that we do have a pathway to do that. So, yeah, I'm all on board with that. Since this is Bubbles' first appearance. I did not actually think of that before just now, so that's great that we've worked that out. I love that. Okay. Since I'm in here, I'll just have another go at it. I don't know how this works exactly, but Trying to be intentional about pinball games or brick breaker games is very difficult for me. Okay. Yeah. This is making Gibbon very happy. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted. Happy birthday. That's my gift to you. Okay, so now that we've covered Bubbles' original appearance, we can go back and play some Clu Clu Land. How about that? So this is the cartridge release. Oh, it's loud. Sorry about that. How's that? Okay. So this did have a two-player mode. In two-player mode... Oh, what? That's weird. It's not picking up my controller. Let me just reboot. It might be getting a little confused because I've got a Wii Remote sensor bar attached for a later portion of the stream when I'll be playing WarioWare. It says it's configured port 5 though. That's because I guess the other ports are configured for the Wii Remote thing. So I might be able to change that. You know what, the simplest way to change that is just unplug this bloody sensor bar. Okay. Now are we good? We're good. Okay. I'm not good at Clu Clu Land, so you'll see. Oh gosh. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we've started. This is Bubbles. She's a bubble fish, I think. When you're in two-player mode, the second player takes on the form of a green Bubbles, who is referred to as another Bubbles in the manual. She doesn't have a unique identity as the second player. Balloonfish, my mistake. Yeah, okay. So Bubbles has the ability to shoot out a little shockwave. In the manual, this is referred to as an electric shockwave. You might recognize the sprites that I'm revealing here on the map. The image of that sprite was reused in The Legend of Zelda as the rupee icon, I believe. Or at least it's very similar. Here they're gold ingots that we're revealing because... Oh, flashing lights warning. Sorry about that. The Unira, who are these sea urchin type enemy characters, have hidden the ingots and we're revealing them. So we're in some abstract undersea location. We've got a fish and we've got sea urchins. The Japanese word for sea urchin is uni. So unira is like a variant of that. Whoa, I've sped up significantly. Oh, hold on, I need a breather. Oh, okay. Gibbon saying that that she has a name for the two-player green Bubbles based on the Japanese name of Bubbles, which is Gloopy. I noticed the name Gloopy coming up in the arcade version and the Famicom Disk System version. I wasn't sure about the Japanese localization, or rather the Japanese original script of this cartridge version of the game, which is the original release. So that's good to know. And yeah, Gloopy in that case would be a fair name for that character. I'm going to play the other version of this a bit later as well, so we'll see, probably see an instance of the Gloopy name. Oh my gosh, this is tricky. Okay, we've uncovered a rubber trap, which is another thing that the Unira have hidden around these maps. Okay, gosh. Gibbon's also confirming that it's the same sprite for the rupees. Thanks for that. That's really good to know. There's another bit of Zelda lore that comes directly out of this game too. The Japanese manual for Zelda 1 Hyrule Fantasy establishes that Dig Dogger, the boss of level, oh gosh, 5 or 6? I don't remember. It's like the big orange blob with spikes on the outside. It looks pretty similar to these, and that's what it claims in the manual, is that Dig Dogger is a large Unira from Clu Clu Land. Similarly, it says that the manhandler boss is a piranha plant, or a pakun flower, as it would say in Japanese, from Super Mario Brothers. Okay. Alright, cool. And Dig Dogger also showed up in Oracle of Seasons with a new look. Because Seasons... Oh, I didn't know that if you go directly into one of those, you die. You can sort of roll around it. Not roll, spin around it. Yeah, spin. Kuru kuru. That's something I should cover at some point. This has been quite frantic so far, but this is like a pretty fast-paced action arcade game. So trying to also go through all my research at the same time is tricky. Oops, I wasn't looking. Clu Clu Land comes from the Japanese onomatopoeia for spinning, which is kuru kuru. And so the English title is a direct transliteration of a Japanese onomatopoeia that makes no sense in English. They really should have changed it, called it Spin Spin and Spinny Land or whatever, I don't know. That's not my job, but I could point out that it sounds silly. I guess if you don't have the Japanese knowledge, it just kind of sounds like nonsense, which can work for the name of a game, so that's fine, I guess. Oh boy, already? Oh, that's the end. Gibbon wonders if the Link's Awakening sea urchins on the beach are based on the regular Unira. I would say they have a lot more cartoony googly eyes and their spikes are a lot longer, but it could be coming from the same inspiration, perhaps. Oh wow, we've also got Captain in chat and Neoprism. Good to see you both. Thanks for coming. I did get game over. That was my attempt at like a no rewinds, no save states run. But what I want to do now is use those features of the emulator to do like a full run of the game's content. And you might notice something cool. Yeah, Gibbon also unsure what we would call it in English. Probably just come up with a whole new name. Yeah, that would probably be best. All right, let's start again. And this time I will do it with cheating. Now, if you're really eagle-eyed, you might spot in the top part of the HUD, last is how many ingots have left to be revealed on this level. Whoops. Wait, what? My rewind didn't work. Wait a second. What's wrong with this profile? Where? Oh, RetroArch is not picking up my controller either. I mean, Joy to Key isn't, rather. Okay, now it is. Okay, cool. I think we should be good now. Yep, all good. We'll just take that death. Let's see. Yeah, Zelda Wiki points out that the connection between dig doggers and such. Oh yeah, I was saying something else, but I'll cover this first. Zelda Wiki has a bit of a fallacy on there, where it says Dig Dogger has a weakness to the recorder. You can play that to damage it. You have to do that in order to damage it in the first place. And speculating that this might be a reference to Bubbles having a sound attack that the Unira are vulnerable to. But I'll point out that the English manual, at least, refers to Bubbles' attack as an electric shockwave. So it looks kind of like a sound wave, so I can see where you'd get that without referencing the material. But yeah, it's not a sound wave. But then again, I will establish the caveat that I have not consulted the Japanese manual of Clu Clu Land, so it may well be referred to as the sound wave in that. I don't know. Now, well, now you know, Captain. Yeah, it's all just from a transliteration of a Japanese onomatopoeia, like I said before. Okay, now, I was talking about the last thing. The last tells you how many ingots have yet to be revealed in the level. if you play and replay the game, this number will change because, and you will have seen it already, but, oops, okay, no. Because there's some randomization. There are, in this version of the game, 4 different patterns for each level, and the level here I'm saying is a layout of the pegs and hazards, as well as the borders of the screen and the color. And of those, there's 6 in a run, including the bonus stage. But the actual puzzle that you're revealing in any given run is chosen from a pool of 4 in this version. So that gives some replayability and stuff, which is nice. Oops, this one. Oh, the flashing. Terrible. It's, yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, cool. Gibbon has just consulted the Japanese manual. Thank you so much. And she says that that manual also calls them electric waves. So yeah, Zelda Wiki's just dead wrong. Don't trust them. Oops. I will rewind that. I'm running low on lives at this point. Oh. The rubber trap. The faster it is, like, the more frantic you feel. Of course. That's the idea. So yeah, along with ingots, you can also reveal other bonuses. You get fruits, because this is an arcade game in the 80s. You always collect fruits as bonus. There's also money bags that pop up sometimes. There's clocks to give you more time. Nothing that will, like, defeat all enemies on the screen or anything useful like that. Okay. Oops. Okay. Oof. Okay. Did I just beat the 5th level? I think that was the 4th level. Hang on. I think I have a guide. No, I don't have the guide here. Ugh, it's on my other computer. Ah! I think 5 is a complete loop without the bonus stage. So this might be the last one for now. There's my money bag, which is just sitting on the stage, actually, and the clock might be as well. I think it's just the fruits that get revealed the same way the ingots do. Yeah. It is possible on certain levels to get trapped between 2 rubber traps, and then you're just stuck until an enemy hits you or you time out, which is pretty harsh if you ask me. We're past that level now, though. Alright. Oops. Cool. Oop. Oh, that actually worked. Also, we now have Pac-Man style pass-through thing. What do you call that? Screen wrap? Okay. Oh boy. No. Yeah, I haven't mentioned this yet, but the controls of this game are quite unique and interesting. It's like relative to Bubble's position, what the buttons do. You're basically just using the D-pad and then A to shoot the shockwave. But it's like you stick out whatever arm is pointing in that direction, depending on where you are right now. So yeah, it's quite complicated to get your head around, but it's really cool. Oh, I could do this now. Okay, it looks a little better that way. Okay, so this is, I think, yeah, this is the final stage. Gold. Purple was the second last. And then after this, there's going to be a bonus stage. What? Where is it? Okay. And it's really throwing the rubber traps at you now. The speed is increased drastically. There's 4 Unira spawners. Things are getting really tense. Are you kidding me? I love rolling around and smashing them into a wall like that. That's really cool. Very satisfying. Alright, these are often symmetrical too, so you can get a hint of what it's going to look like, or what you need to do next by comparing it to the other side if you've done them unevenly, which you always will because you can't do both at once, obviously. Okay, so that's that. Oh boy. Ah! Okay, a timer. Oh, the timer actually pauses the timer and all enemies on screen at the same time. That's great. That's better than I thought. Alright, is that nearly done? Nope. What else do I need to do here? I've almost revealed all the rubber traps. Oh yeah, that's right. The spawners are referred to as black holes in the manual, as Gibbon points out. That's probably why they're dangerous to you. Don't go in black holes, kids. Watch out for that. What? Oh, I ran out of time. And there was one left. Oh, it must be in the middle. Like here? I can't believe I hadn't gone through there yet. Okay. Woof. Yeah, Unira coming out of black holes has some interesting implications, as Gibbon points out. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Black holes. We are supposed to be underwater, but I guess we're also in space. We're in the cosmic sea of space. Oh boy. So this is the bonus stage. It only has ingots to find, and they're blue now. So they're worth 5 rupees. Oh boy. Wow, that actually looked good. It wasn't quite intentional. Yeah, so if you do manage to get them all, you get a good bonus. Where's the part that gives you a bonus? Yeah, I have a note here that there's a bug in this game. Every 5th level you beat is supposed to give you 3,000 points, and on screen it says 3,000 points awarded. But actually it only gives you 30 points. This is just a programming error. What's funny about it though is that the game manual acknowledges this. I've got it open in a PDF here. On the final page before the FCC regulations on this North American manual. Note, if while playing in bonus mode the player wins all the gold nuggets, perfect, 30 points are added to the score, although the instructions on the screen say that for a perfect score, 3,000 points are added. Okay, well that clears that up. And also, just hilarious that they acknowledge that in the manual. I mean, you have to, I guess, because people are going to notice. It just has it as a note. It's like, not even apologizing. Yeah, I guess they're eldritch urchins coming from the abyss. Yeah, good call. The horrors from beyond space. Like Nuggy in Another Eden. Anyway. Boy. Alright, I've got one more note about the development of this game. There's a few people that we know who did the music, but I didn't note their names, sorry. What I did note was something that I found on the cutting room floor, which is, they look into unused content in the games and stuff that's hidden. In this case, there's a developer credit hidden in the game's code that is not visible in the game itself, but it is if you like get down into the code and stuff. So there's a guy called T Sawano, which is Takao Sawano, who is evidently the programmer of this game and put himself in as a bit of code to be found by decompilers or whatever. As for his other credits, they mostly come later on, much after this, so he probably worked on a lot of NES games like this without credit, but he started being credited as technical support on certain first-party Nintendo 64 games, GameCube games. He's credited on Wii Fit and Lilac Wars Star Fox 64 3D, the 3DS version. He's also credited as a producer of the Mario Artist N64 DD titles. So yeah, that's who we have to thank for bringing this to us, at least in the NES version. Not sure about the arcade version. But speaking of the arcade version, why don't we go and play that? We've done a full loop of Clu Clu Land now, the original release. I guess what I'll do first is demonstrate one thing to you about the difference between the two. And I think it's best illustrated by going to the Game FAQs page for Clu Clu Land and going to the Galley 1 of 1, the 1C guide for the game. This will tell you a lot about what exists in the game and strategies and stuff, but it also has screenshots of all the layouts that are possible, the puzzles that you have to solve. So there's 4 of them for each stage, as I said. I'm sad I didn't get the submarine. The submarine is the cool one. And that's what they all look like. They go abstract with gold to make it harder, I guess. But here, there's also a guide that they wrote for the Famicom Disk System version, which we're going to play next. And the big difference with this version, one of the big differences, is it doubles the content of the game. It's got all the same puzzles as the original, and 4 new ones for each colored stage, which is pretty cool. It's like a really enhanced re-release. It's the real version of the game in many ways. Makes our cartridge version look like a steaming pile. There we go. So let's load that up. Oh wait, am I doing arcade first or disk system? Let's do arcade first. Okay. Alright, this is versus Clu Clu Land. We had versus Pinball before, but just as with a lot of first-party NES titles, they got ports to this arcade system. I've got the dip switch on free play, so it's not going to play attract mode. Let me just adjust that. And give small lives while we're at it. Because there's unique stuff on the attract mode, obviously, that's not in the console ports. Sorry, I missed something in chat before where Captain said, creepy bear with only one eyebrow. And I have no idea what he's talking about. Alright, all-star casts. And it refers to, like, stage elements as part of the cast, I guess, because the cast itself is quite small. And what you do with them. Ingots, they're the target. Black hole, they're bottomless. Unira, they are danger. And this is fun. I like these like little animations. Boss Unira, secret. We might see that later. The bonus fruit. We probably have seen all of that by now. 5 variants, of course. Bonus timer, lucky chance. Bonus flag, extra groupie. And the flag is new to this version. It gives you an extra life. As we said before, Gloopy is the name of the fish in the Japanese version. And for the arcade version here, which I think... I don't know how wide a release this got, but you can see it's been romanized as Groupie instead of Gloopy. And that could mean that she is, you know, attached to some kind of musical band, but yeah, I don't know, Gibbon, does this affect how you refer to the green fish? Are you going to call them Groupie or you're going to stick with Gloopy? Apart from that, it looks like we've just got this gameplay preview similar to the console version, but yeah, I did want to highlight that cool animation introducing the characters and stuff. Gibbon is definitely sticking with Gloopy. This is fair. Alright, so I've got my credit in. Let's see how this is different. First of all, in MAME, the volume is softer. Turn that up a bit. Okay. Let's go. So you won't notice too much of a difference because hardware-wise, the Versus system is very similar to a Famicom. It's not going to have expanded capabilities the way like Donkey Kong Arcade does, because that was more powerful hardware than what was in the consumer consoles. Do I have a... Yeah, I've got a control profile for this. That's good. I don't know what layout this is. But so I'll play this for a bit, but I think I'm going to probably play the disk system version more than the Versus system version. Nintendo sure loved calling things system, didn't they? Just because it's easier on the emulator. MAME is always a little tricky. They had the Nintendo Comic System, the Nintendo Serial System. They had a lot of stuff called system. But Bubbles is such a weird fish. I don't know where they got off calling her a fish. It makes no sense. But anyway. Alright. So we've done a stage with no Unira, because it was just the first one. Extra loops obviously get harder, because when I got to the pink stage, after clearing that loop, there were Unira there that time. I've just noticed that the music is a bit different in this version. I hope you can hear it through the stream, but it seems to have extra instrumentation. And I know that the Famicom Disk System also, compared to the NES and the Famicom, had extra channels or an improved sound capability in some way that I do not fully understand because it's technical. Now I'm wondering what exactly is going on with the Versus system. I said it was based on Famicom hardware and not that much more powerful, but have they just changed the music for this version of the game, or did the Versus system have expanded audio powers similar to the Famicom Disk System? It'll now be much more interesting to compare this directly to the Famicom Disk System. Oh, and here's another difference. We're getting bonus stages in the midst of gameplay, not at the end of a loop. Oh yeah. Bubbles won't emerge from her little sphere orb until you make an input, but the time can still run even before then. Oh, I'm not doing well. You have to be super efficient. Oops. I tried to do a tricky move there, but it didn't quite work. The controls got a bit sticky. Yeah, Gibbon's noticed a little difference of the music too. I did have 4 credits. I changed it so that 1 coin gave me 4 credits. That's in the dip switches. But why don't we just do a full loop on the arcade version before we move on to the disk system? I can make save states in MAME, but why don't we challenge ourselves by abstaining at least for a bit? We've got time. Yeah, we've got time. I'm not sure how long I will spend on later things that I would get to here. What's this? It's the submarine! Oh, I'm so happy. Okay. Oh yeah, this one? Wait. Oh, this one. Oh! Haha, I rewound. Lol. I lied when I said I was gonna play this legit. Yeah, wait, what? I figured I would get a bonus or something. Okay. Yeah, it definitely makes sense to play the arcade version before the Famicom Disk System version, because there's another change or two in that version that I did know about. They're in my notes. We'll cover that when we get to it. As for this version, this has been re-released on its own. It was part of the Arcade Archives set of releases by Hamster. So Clu Clu Land's probably in the NES Switch Online app, most likely, because it's a first-party game. Why wouldn't it be? But yeah, you can play this specific version of the game by paying a bit extra on the eShop. But yeah, Hamster always does good work, so I'm sure that'll be a really great implementation of it. Okay, this one, and then this one. And then there'll be another square over there. Oops. Oh, that's a really good question, Gibbon. Gibbon has raised the point in chat. Bubbles may be Nintendo's first heroine to star in her own game. This is a really interesting point. I will have to think about that. You will have access to screens that will tell you release dates. But I'm not sure. 1984 is pretty early, but there might be earlier ones. I know that Mark Ryder had a surprise heroine reveal similar to Metroid, but before Metroid did it. But that was only in the Versus system, which was released after the original cartridge release of Mark Ryder. But I don't know when that was, so that might be the first, just off the top of my head. Since that predates Metroid, and Metroid is like popularly known as the first, you know, big one, I guess. When was Doki Doki Panic? That would be after this. I don't know if Nintendo could claim those characters anyway. They were like Fuji TV's characters. Oops. And then it took a few years to bring that to the rest of the world with Princess Toadstool. When was Versus Golf Ladies Edition? Ah. Nope. This is tricky, all those black holes. Hold on a second. Wait, where's the last one? 2 left. No, not there. Here? Running out of time. Where are they? Oh, no? There's some spots down the bottom I haven't gone to. Oops. No? Here? No, what's going on? Oh man. I'm stumped. Let's rewind further. Over here? I'm gonna consult that guide, that's what I'm gonna do. I have it up, I might as well. This is the final stage of this loop. What? How have I not done those ones? Okay, I know where it is. I had a life anyway, so... Oh. Oh, that's real tricky. Is that... Oh, man. Once the rubber trap is revealed, you can't, like, grab onto the edge of the... There's no pole there anymore. Can I even get down there? I think I have to get down there by not revealing this rubber trap and doing this. Ugh! Not that. Ah! This is a really technical maneuver right now. I have to do this. And then, hold on. Oh god. Yeah, like that. Okay, oh my gosh. Now I should have been able to identify this by looking at the two patterns and comparing their differences. Like I said, it's a mirror image. So that was the result. Oh gosh. Alright, Gibbon has done the research. Mark Ryder is 1985. Super Mario Brothers 2 USA was 1988. Much later. Versus Ladies Golf is also 1985. So I think Bubbles is in with a good chance of being Nintendo's first heroine. I think you're really making a good point there. Oh. I've messed this up. I'll never get that 30-point bonus. I think they must have fixed it for the arcade version though. I'm sure it would give you the proper 3,000 as promised. Okay. Oh yeah, I did have a note about that. So I said that the Switch Online service with its NES games probably has this available. It does, but not in Japan. The Japanese version of the app has the Famicom Disk System version of this game available, as well as the Hong Kong version of the app also similarly has that version. Everywhere else gets the NES version of Clu Clu Land, the inferior version. But having established that and cleared the gold stage for a full loop, I think we can move on from the arcade version now. There's just one more thing I want to check, if there's a unique game over screen of some kind. It's the same as the NES game. Okay. No worries. Alright, let's play the Disk System version. Nice jingle. Oh yeah, name entry. TS, by the way, top scorer there on the board. That's got to be Takao Sawano, right? Soft confirming his involvement in this version of the game. I don't know who the other names are off the top of my head. Rub for rub out the last one. That's interesting. I've never seen that particular command before in a name entry screen. Okay, well, that was cool. So now the third version of Clu Clu Land that exists. I had to get a separate Famicom Disk System core, compatible core for this. But it's all worth it. Oh, the secret end boss. Yeah, I didn't actually. But that's in the Disk System version as well, so we'll have a better chance of getting it in here. So that content is in both versions, yeah. Yeah, I did forget about that, sorry. The boss Unira, who was teased on the character screen. Okay, oh, it does have this screen. That's lovely. I didn't know about that. This is the Disk System version. They've changed the names on the scorer chart. That's interesting. It's like all HK and then an AAA. Weird. It also did say groupie still, but again, that's a sort of a mis-romanization for gloopy. Yeah, gloopy must be somewhere. There's probably whatever. Okay, so on the title screen, this is oh, I could have grabbed a ROM of Clu Clu Land D. I think Clu Clu Land D it's in Animal Crossing. That's like the first official localized release of this Famicom Disk System exclusive version of Clu Clu Land, which the title screen calls Welcome to New Clu Clu Land, acknowledging that it's an expansion of the original game. Animal Crossing calls it Clu Clu Land D. I don't know if that's like a NES implementation of the Clu Clu Land content, but this is what I've got. Is Clu Clu Land D different at all? I didn't actually... Yeah, in my research, I kind of skipped over checking whether Clu Clu Land D was significantly different to the Disk System version. D, I would assume, stands for disc. But we can see on the title screen, apart from that new subtitle... Oh, no! Ugh. Curse this X-Bone controller. I'm going to get a new one soon. A new controller that's not an X-Bone controller. Yes, we get it. Okay, it is just the same. Okay, thank you. So, Welcome to New Clu Clu Land is like the subtitle. Beginner push start, expert push select. I'll show you what expert is, but I'm not going to play it the whole game that way because it is absurd. I'll show you. Oh, it's giving me 2-player as well. I must have hit the wrong button at that point. In expert mode, this is the difference. If you go over an ingot a second time, it flips over, and then it doesn't count. You need to have them all flipped the right way up, shining bright. Otherwise, you do not complete the level. This is an intense change. This makes it into much more of a... well, it's a lot more puzzly, for sure. You gotta think through your movements and plan them out. But it's really harsh. See, I've just managed to... Yep, but now I've screwed it up. Like, what a change this is. Completely, fundamentally, like, huge shake-up of the whole game system. Just with that one little change, but it makes it incredibly hard. See, I don't even know how to do this at this point. Oh, okay, so there's actually a hack of New Clu Clu Land to turn it from a FDS game to a NES game that's playable on a NES-only emulator. Right. I get it. I do wonder what's going on under the hood in Animal Crossing when you play Clu Clu Land D, though. Alright, we're going to reset and play beginner mode, please. This button? Yeah. No? It's put me in 2-player. Oh, sorry. The fast forward is like super duper speed. This button? Yeah, okay, that's correct. Cool. Right. Obviously I didn't do my research enough because I didn't know the boss Unira was a secret. Gibbon, do you know how to get to the boss Unira? I'd love to show it off on the stream, but how do you do it? I did not research that. I didn't do much research into like the playing of the game because I usually want those parts to be a bit more first impressions like on a stream, but given the occasion I should have done a bit more reading, I think. I just figured it would be there in the game at some point. I'm going to play the disc system version as long as it takes to get to boss Unira. I can always consult that guide if I need to. Let me see. Yeah, so like adding that extra difficulty mode is the biggest change that the disc system version makes, and yeah, it's a really big change that makes this version the most up-to-date port. It's also got that nice attract mode animation stuff. Yeah, it really is the ultimate version of the game. So if you've got a Switch Online subscription, you can download the Japanese version of the console apps, and then you can just play this version there. So yeah, it's all good. Or get the emulator that I had to separately download because the other ones couldn't handle disk system, apparently. I think it was Nestopia that I ended up going with. I wonder if you ever have to change the disc over to the other side in this game. What am I missing? One left. Must be in the middle. Here? Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Gibbon has informed me how to spawn the boss. That's lovely. Thank you so much. Let's take it down. How about I do a full loop of the disc system version and then I'll go on a boss hunting spree. We'll harvest its spines to make new armor for Bubbles. Oh yeah, I should also judge this game based on how good it is as a marine life simulator. Because I love Echo the Dolphin, and this is one of the first games that is attempting to be set in an undersea environment of sorts. I've kind of covered it already, but I don't think it's very authentic to that experience. I think it's very like arcade abstract, Pac-Man style. The theming is very light in it, so whenever they try to represent it in a more concrete way, like in the box art, for example, or the Melee trophy, which both you can see both on sides of the screen. Although I've kind of cropped out the like the poles that Bubbles is holding onto. In both cases, she's shown grabbing one of these poles, and it's like bending as she twirls around it. I have no idea what that's going to represent, if this really is under the sea, you know. It's just... yeah, I cannot conceive of a universe where that makes sense, so it's fine. Also, a fish with arms. Are there fish with arms? Mud skippers, I guess? They've got little... they use their front fins as little arms to move through the mud. They were one of my favorite fish as a kid. Okay. Oh yeah, one more note about this game. I'm not sure which version of it received this port, but doing reading and research about this game and the platforms it was released on, which includes like Virtual Console and Animal Crossing and all that, and the new Arcade Archives release, this Clu Clu Land, some version of it, got a port in 2001 to the Sharp Zorus PDA. I don't know what this is, like I've never heard of this before, but it's just a brand of PDA, which of course were all the rage at the time and completely archaic now. I couldn't find any footage, screenshots, listings, or anything. Just pages online that said that this exists. So I really don't know what to make of it, but there was a PDA port of this game somehow. I don't even know if it was licensed or if it was an emulator. I just know that it exists, apparently. Well, I don't know that it exists, but I have read that it exists. So, yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Gibbon says, well, she obviously generates electricity, so that narrows down what species she can be. This is a really good point. There are fish that generate electricity, so yeah. That is a piece of the puzzle that I had not factored in. Although, honestly, aside from eels, electric eels, which are the, you know, the cartoon stereotype version of a fish that can make electricity, I'm not too sure which species are capable of that. Alright, this is the really tricky stage again. As long as I don't go straight through that one, that rubber trap is not going to be revealed. Oh, there's so many of them. I do know that sharks can sense electric fields, and that's one of their senses that they use to hunt. But as for generating electric fields, that's a bit more specialized of a skill that I'm not sure about. Alright, there's got to be equivalents to those ones down here. So here, yep, got it, and here. Done. Oh, that's good. Those gold stages are so tricky. So that's a full loop. I'll probably get another bonus round now, and then I will take down that dang boss, eh? That'll be cool. Okay. Sharks are so strange. They're so alien to human experience. But in form, they're so similar to dolphins, which we find so relatable. I find that really fascinating. That's an example of convergent evolution. I've I got a friend at work who's an evolutionary biologist who, like, yeah, very passionate about that kind of thing, so it's very cool. She designs board games too, which have biology components to them as a form of education. Although she also, like, emphasized that the board games themselves teach scientific method through you learning how they work, which was something I really hadn't thought about, but that's a part of game design that is part of her educational remit. Oh, I could plug her games, actually. I should do that. She just left, unfortunately, our workplace and got a better job somewhere else, which is sad. But yeah, good for her. Check out her games. Her publishing, like, her board game company, which is kind of just her, is called Steam Galaxy. And she's only got a couple of released games, including Go Extinct, a variation of Go Fish, but with extinct animals. And she told me the other day that her other one, Artful Eye, has a version you can buy, which is kind of it's like Cards Against Humanity, but instead of text prompts you have, aha! Here is the boss Unira. Ooh! So defeating 7 Uniras on a stage spawned this guy. I probably went about it too slowly, but ooh. There we go! We just managed to get there. And we got a huge point bonus for it, so there you go. Yeah, so instead of text prompts, it's pictures taken from old biology texts that are in public domain. Yeah. So I kind of talked all over that, but that was the boss Unira. Why don't we try and go for another one in the next stage? Oh, cool. Gibbon's doing the research. There's electric rays and skates, electric eels, electric catfish, knife fish, elephant fish, stargazers, and that might be it. Wow, that's more than I ever knew about. Stuff I've never heard of in there. Which one is the most spherical, I guess, is my next question. Okay. Oh, come on. If I grab that early enough... Oh. What's it doing? Oops. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm losing so much time here. There we go. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try and get another quick boss kill here, if I can. Wait, oh! Brain fart, hold on. Arrgh. All these fish Gibbon mentioned are somewhat longish, she says. Oops. I want to do this right. Okay. None of them are spherical, lol. Ah! It's here already! Easy peasy, look at that. They're big, but they go down just as easily as a normal Unira. Pathetic. Let's get a second one while we're here. I don't think we have enough time, actually. Looks like once you defeat the boss, they stop spawning. That's cool. So yeah, there we go. Gibbon wants to say that Bubbles is a Zapfish from Splatoon. Oh. Is this your way of putting Splatoon into the DK Arcade universe? Under DK Gerda? Always knew you'd find a way to sneak it in sometime. Oh, okay. Stargazer might be the best option. It's sort of like an anglerfish. They also live in the ocean floor, so that would make sense. Yeah, that's cool. As far as I'm concerned, that's that one completed. Why don't we get to the game over screen? I was going to look up the Stargazer. Not the USS Stargazer, Picard's first ship with its quad nacelle configuration. What a weird ship. The ship where Jack Crusher died. That's all I know about it. Okay. Oh, we will get that high score screen in this version. I don't know how anybody would ever finish that bonus, like, completely finish it, you know. There you go, that's my real name. Okay. Rub, still says Rub. The font is different. Well, there's not dots next to them. Oh, it's trying to write to the disk. I don't think the emulator can do that. I'm gonna look up a Stargazer fish. Ooh. Oh gosh. Okay, I gotta show you this. This is great stuff. This is Bubbles. This is our friend. Oh boy. Yeah. A little bit freaky. What the hell? Goodness me. The terrors of the deep. Fascinating indeed. And apparently... is that real? I think that might not be real. Isn't nature wonderful? It certainly is round-ish. Yeah, okay. Let's go with that. Oh, here's the dig dogger, by the way. I had the page open. That's our boss Unira reappearing later on. Okay. Right. What did I have up next? I've got notes. Okay, cool. Up next, we've got a WarioWare game. Probably worth adjusting the layout for this, but I did not do that in advance, did I now? Now, the patch to remove tilt functionality on WarioWare Twisted is a great thing, but it doesn't work in all emulators. It didn't work in MGBA or VBA-M. Gosh, yeah, that was it. So I've got the GPSP core in RetroArch instead, and that works just fine. There's a few places that offer this patch, so it might be some different developers of equivalent patches. But this one I found worked. I couldn't import a save file, but I ended up just playing through the whole game because it was just that good. I did it in an afternoon. It was really good. The WarioWare games, check them out, people. So yeah, WarioWare Twisted. This was on the GBA with a tilt sensor. So you would rotate your GBA in physical space in order to interact with the game. What this patch does is maps that movement onto the D-pad. Much more handy. The D-pad is not used at all in the game ordinarily, so it's perfectly fine to just map it on that way. There's also the handy feature by holding B, you get faster spinning. This is useful for certain mini-games, micro-games. Although a commenter that I read claimed that around 7 micro-games were not completable using this patch just because it's not as sensitive as the physical tilt sensor in the cartridge. Okay. Sorry, did I intro this well enough? Bubbles showed up in a few other things, later games, as cameos and references. And that's the portion we're doing now. WarioWare has a lot of... the A button is used. WarioWare has a lot of back references to old Nintendo games through the medium of 9V and 18V, who are the retro Nintendo enthusiasts, and all their micro games are based on other Nintendo games. I thought it would be quick to unlock their set of games, but no, I had to play almost every other set in the whole thing before I got to them, but that's okay because I had fun. yeah, I'll show you the kind of setup within the game of what it looks like. Oh, that's just passing straight past everything. But you can play the games once you've unlocked them individually in the spin decks, which I'll do if necessary. But we've got a few Clu Clu Land replications in the WarioWare games, and the first one chronologically is in Twisted. Although I think Twisted was actually released after Touched on the DS, which is a bit weird. Just a quirk, I guess, of third pillar development. So I guess this is where 18-volt was first introduced. Interesting. This is still early in the series, relatively. I'm impressed how WarioWare still keeps getting new games. Good for it. Especially when it starts cross-pollinating with Rhythm Heaven. Another excellent series. And so they were friends. What's the time? Yeah, let's do this. He's got the Famicom robot. Oh, okay. So yeah, in each one of these, it's themed around a classic Nintendo game, but the actual interaction method is like really interesting and unique in each case. You almost never like play a game as it was originally presented. Especially in Twisted, they have a lot of fun twists, so to speak, on these game themes, which is a lot of fun. Like, all of these are good examples of that. Oop. So yeah, WarioWare is all about reacting quickly to prompts and figuring out what it wants you to do in a very short amount of time. Although it helps that I played through the entirety of 9 and 8 volts stage earlier this week. So I already know what they all want you to do. Oops. Oh, yeah, wrong way. There's Mark Rider, which I mentioned before. Cool. Okay, we got to the boss stage without seeing Clu Clu Land, so we'll just play it from the spin decks then. This is the one that's closest to the original gameplay, but you're also controlling how fast Mario moves by tilting, and then the whole world tilts under him. And this predates Mario Galaxy, by the way. Because I believe this is 2005. Oh, yeah, that's right. You just keep playing. Ah. Gibbon agrees that it was fun seeing all the twisted interpretations of these games. Yeah, this might be my favorite one to reinterpret games. Because it's got that twisted gimmick to it. So everything's circular almost now. Which makes for some interesting and fun reinterpretations, like we said. Oh, yeah. Fail. Once you level up, there's often 3 variations of microgames in WarioWare. So it doesn't just get faster, there's harder quirks to the game itself. Whoop. Oops, messed that up. But we saw Stanley at least. Alright, let's get to that spin decks. Pyro! Hello, Pioro. Yeah. Okay, so there is a Clu Clu Land microgame. Clear by getting 15 points. Turn the round ground around and get the item. That's our goal. Spin the ground by tilting, and she still has the shockwave ability. Shockwaves, they're called here. Okay. We never saw a flag, did we? While playing Clu Clu Land itself. But yeah, we'll see all sorts of pickups here. Fun little ingot configuration using diagonals to make different patterns as a reward. That's cool. That's new. But yeah, it's a pretty simple game, but it works. It's interesting here how Bubbles has completely free movement, unlike the grid-based grabbing and spinning method that she has in her own game. So it's like a completely different control method, but it's got the setting of Clu Clu Land. And yeah, you do bounce off the edge of the screen, which is now circular. Like this. Boing! And I haven't done it yet, but I wonder if you can squish an urchin against the wall. Let's try it. No, never mind. It's going quite fast now, which makes it that much harder to do things like that. Perfect. It worked! They've implemented that. That's beautiful. Also note, outside the edge of the circular games field is a wallpaper that has tiled bubble sprites. That's from the end of level screen. That's when you see her like that. Yeah, so that's that. Oh, I actually did well enough to get a gold crown that time. That's cool. There you go. And once you've mastered each micro game, it puts a gold crown, I guess, on the characters outside there. Also, Mr. Game & Watch is here. Anything else I want to show while we're here? We showed the pinball bonus screen, funnily enough, which already happened earlier in the stream as well. That's cute. Mark Ryder I mentioned. Donkey Kong's there. We had the Zelda one, calling back to the legacy of Clu Clu Land in Zelda. We actually saw most of these on that run, except for DK Jr., and I want to show this off, just because Jr. looks so goofy. The Mario and Papa sprites are pretty much ripped straight from the game, but Jr. here has a new sprite, which looks really strange. So there's the 3 difficulty variations of that one as well. Let's just have a good look at Junior. He can stretch his arms out just for you as well, by the way. Quite far. He just looks so goofy, and it's a unique sprite art of Junior that's new for this game, and that's fun. The Hurt sprite is taken from the original game, though. Alright, so that was WarioWare Twisted and the Clu Clu Land representation therein. Very good stuff. I think at this point, I'm going to shut down that emulator and start up a new one, because we're jumping ahead to the Wii. That was WarioWare Twisted in 04, 05, something like that. The next one I'm going to play is... Oh, where's my... Oh, sorry. The next one I'm going to play is not till, I think, 2011. I didn't write these down foolishly. But there's a bit of setup here, because the next 2 WarioWare games I'm playing are on the Wii. But I have this handy-dandy, super nifty Mayflash sensor bar. This is not sponsored content. Okay. I've got my hot pink Wii remote. Good stuff. I can... Nope, not that one, this one. I've got the WiiWare RIP of have Smooth Moves and DIY Showcase. I just need to capture the right window. For some reason it's displayed, whoop, like widescreen style. Like, yep, okay, that's what we want. And here we go. 2010 it was, okay. I guess the DS one's 2009. This is the, like, WiiWare... Oh, I'm gonna need to move my microphone. Sorry. I have to sit further back so I can properly point at my sensor bar. Okay, here we go. This is one that was not on Gibbon's list that she sent me, so yeah, we're gonna surprise her with this one. That's good. Yeah, so DIY on the DS was great. You could make things, you could share things, you could distribute things, you could download new things. This one has a download function, which doesn't work obviously on this emulator. It doesn't have the creation suite, but it does have a new set of things. So it's got the comics, it's got new comics and new music that is only in this Wii version. You could probably transfer it to the DS game, I'm not really sure. It's got a really cool, like, yeah, the music player is patterned after Balloon Fight. So while you listen to this remix of Dr. Mario, you have this cool theming to it. Those sounds, and some of the icons too, are like straight out of Mario Paint. WarioWare DIY really is the successor to Mario Paint, much more so than Mario Maker. But you can also play a little Balloon Fight game. It doesn't sound as good, obviously, to play the music, but it's basically like a little balloon trip in here. In widescreen, which is good too. There are hazards as well. I'm not sure what this sprite is. It's not quite the same as the original Balloon Fighter, is it? Is it a version of Wario, perhaps? A lot of these things in WarioWare games have self-inserts of Wario, which is fun. Alright. Let's get to the game part. So you got your own games in here that you can transfer over to store them here and play them on a big screen. The actual experience of playing them with the remote is not as good, I think, as the experience of playing them on the touch screen in the original DIY. But yeah, you've got 4 sets that weren't in the original DIY game. To unlock them, you play them in the blender. And then this is like the spin decks where they're all stored for selection and play. So we'll just do the normal mode to see if it comes up, as I did before. And then otherwise, I'll show you exactly what the Clu Clu Land game is like in WarioWare DIY Showcase. So all the games in this were made with the DIY editor. So they were all made on the DS with the same tools that any player would have access to, which I think is fantastic. It's such a fascinating way of putting a game together and presenting it. Really interesting stuff. Okay, so Super Mario Kart. You do get the little voice clips from 18 Volt, which is nice. I don't know if they were in the DS game. I don't remember. Duck Hunt again. It's always Duck Hunt. Come on, Peepers. Hello. Okay, Famicom Wars. Gotta wait till it turns around so you can hit it in the back without hitting the spear. Again, these are ones that I played all of to unlock the Clu Clu Land game. So I know everything that's here and I know what it expects of you, which helps a lot. Oops, I missed one. If you get them all, there's a little animation of Pit flying off. Oh, really? I don't even know what game that's based on. I guess that was a slot machine in like Mario USA, right? Oh, is it Superstar Saga? No. See, I don't know what that is. The depiction of Mario is so modern. Like, I just don't know. Oh, arcade. Nice. So I don't know who you're playing as there. It's someone off screen who can bust those barrels. This is cool. This is the only time that country has been represented in a WarioWare game. Oh wait, there might be a Returns one in one of the newer games. I'm not up to date on the series, honestly. But yeah, love seeing that rare style SNES DKC wrap. That's awesome. Really makes this particular like WiiWare release quite a novelty. In many ways, but that's one of them. So that's an easier than normal boss stage for a WarioWare game, I would say. Also, if you press A here, more lines of Franks appear at the top of the screen during that animation. Okay, let's do it this time. Oh, SMB3 Toad House slots. Okay, I can see it. It's not quite the same way it works in SMB3, but yeah, maybe. You always got that little jingle in the background too. I hope Clu Clu Land comes up, otherwise we can always just pick it from the menu. Note that Diddy's shooting out of a bonus barrel, which is not something that ever happens in the game. It looks flashier, but it kind of doesn't work with the logic. That was super hard. I don't know if I've ever done that variation. But yeah, I love, by DIY, they branched out a lot in the... Oops. On the type of games they represented. In Twisted, it was all like NES 8-bit games. But here they branched out more. That started, to be fair, in Smooth Moves, I want to say. Although I haven't recently done a dive into Touched to see what it's represented there. But Smooth Moves, I'll show you when we get to it, but there's like 3D stuff in there. It's really cool. Alright, Mario Kart DK3. You didn't see that one yet. That's cool. Hey, that's cute. Got another Stanley wrap on this stream. There we go. So I think there are difficulty variations in these, but it's a bit harder to do. It's not a guaranteed thing. There's also some randomized elements to it. So for example, Yoshio Sakamoto made a big name game for distribution through the online download service. And it's a Metroid one, you tap on the Metroids to kill them, and then when you win, Samus turns around and gives you a little wink or whatever. Or a thumbs up, I should say. She's not winking. And sometimes she's in her full power armor, sometimes she's in her zero suit. So there's some randomization. Although that's just an animation that plays at the end. I don't know about the gameplay variations. What does it say about this? Who likes bananas and not bees? You! It's not a bee, but yeah, I get your point. Wrecking Crew. See, we've seen almost all of these already, except for the one I actually wanted. What does it say about Mario slots? Line them up, any 3 will do. Okay. Donkey Kong. Yeah, we saw all of them, except Clu Clu Land and DK3. That's absurd. Alright, here we go. Use your strange hooks to navigate. This is one that I didn't actually really get the hang of when it came up, but I unlocked it. So I don't know what to do. Okay, so you click on Bubbles to extend her hand at the right time to grab the pole that'll get you out of danger. I think that's how this works. Or you do it before the pole. Alright. So pretty simple. But the DIY ones often are simpler. Point and touch. The input doesn't get any more complicated than that, but they can get quite creative with what they want from you within that framework, as I hope you may have seen so far. So it's all about precision, clicking on Bubbles before she gets to the pole that you want. Okay. And we're seeing that there are variations here of the locations of the Uniras. You don't get the same level of change 'em ups as you do in some of the other WarioWare games. It's kind of this trade-off, like the editor's, I guess, not as powerful as the tools that they would have used to make the other games, but having it be part of the game is supposed to make up for that, and then having it be expandable with new games distributed was a great feature. So yeah, you can kind of overlook the slightly limited microgame technology for the other perks in the system. And playing through DIY is a really interesting experience. I highly recommend it. It's a bit harder to get all that you can out of it these days with the Wi-Fi connections down. I've tried editing save files to put in extra games and the officially distributed games, the big name games that have other indie stuff, like there's a Meat Boy game, there's a Shantae game that were made by those series creators. So there's like official installments in those series that are WarioWare DIY micro games, which is pretty interesting. Alright. So that was WarioWare DIY Showcase, 18 volts, Clu Clu Land micro game. Good stuff. And yeah, similar to the original game's like setting in its grid pattern and everything, unlike the Twisted one, which really changed things up for the sake of the new control system. So having done that, let's go back in time, but forward in like advancement technology in terms of what they're doing with Clu Clu Land by playing WarioWare Smooth Moves. It's given me a warning because the file that I'm using here is like a non-standard GameCube format or something, and it has problems with loading times on the emulator, which you will notice very occasionally, but it's not a big deal. Now, I think when I was talking about this before, Gibbon, I said that there was a mini game, not just a micro game, but I was wrong about that because I was thinking of the balloon fight one. But yeah, what they've got in this one is really interesting. So I've imported a save file from the internet for this, which had everything unlocked so that I would be able to access it, because yeah, sorry. I'm sorry if I misled you on that by misremembering what was in this game. It was a real blunder on my part. I apologize. But they are quite similar, which is what fooled me. I'll show you what I mean, because here's the balloon fight one. The big cheese. Flap. This kind of behind the back 3D format going into the screen kind of thing. That's a new format for balloon fight. In this one, it only puts you through the 3 variations one after another. You don't get like a endurance run kind of thing. That's a separate mode. I love how detailed the fish are in this, though. Just part of that reinterpretation of old school into a newer thing. Yeah. And now, here we are, Clu Clu Land. The main event. I think this is 2008. Move through Clu Clu Land, but be careful not to hit enemies or fall into a black hole. From 1985. Whoop. Ooh. Gibbon says she could totally see this being played on a balance board. That was never an option, was it?
1985 Clu Clu Land on the NES. That's the international release. 2006, oh yeah. Earlier than I even thought. 2006 was when this was released. It was practically a release. It was practically... Hold on. Oh no! It was practically a launch title, is what I was trying to say. Alright. So this one is really relying on... Actually, I don't know if it's the pointer or the gyro, but it wants you to really keep it steady to keep Bubbles' trajectory going straight. But as you can see, like, a lot of stuff is here. The ingots appear, especially more so in harder levels to throw you off. The uniras, the flags are there, but only to mark the end of the current course. Don't fall in the black hole. I did. Oh no. I wanted to show the animation. But it's quite similar to Twisted, actually, in that we're given free movement of Bubbles in this space, rather than flipping off poles, or spinning off poles, I should say. You can sort of see a grid pattern on the floor, but the poles have sort of retracted into the ground and are not available for spinning on. It does mean that Bubbles moves more like a real fish, but yeah, it's just interesting. Like what they're testing you on here is your still, like, your control in holding the Wii remote steady to... Oh, what? I think it's not picking up... I think it's pointer, because when she's flashing like that, I think it means it's not picking up the... Yeah, there we go. It is using the pointer. Which means I could do this paper plane style instead of elephant style. I'm going to play it a few more times till we've wrung everything out of this that we can, because this is... I just love the full 3D, you know, representation of this abstract space. I think Bubbles looks really good. She doesn't have the modeled mouth that she does in the Melee trophy. It's just a flat texture on her face, but it's cute. It's very in keeping with the look that she has on the cover artwork on the Famicom. The Uniras look weird. The spikes are kind of quite low poly. They're not quite as menacing in this version, I'll say. You also get a look at Bubbles' tiny little tail, which you did see flapping around on the sprite on the NES and arcade. Oh, Gibbon says she didn't think there were gyros in the OG Wii remotes. Oh, there absolutely were. That's why you get a lot of games that have shake to do something. Like Donkey Kong Country Returns, you shake to roll. That's the gyro in the Wii remote picking up a movement. Like, the pointer function of the Wii remote is, I think, its weakest feature. And it's only a very small part of the picture. Like, it picks up motions, you know, left, right, up, down, in, out. Yeah. Alright. I'm just thinking now, is there anything else I want to show off while I'm here? Because there's some cool ones here. I like the Metroid one. That's not exactly a gyro. Huh. Oh, what about the tilt? Tilt is another thing that's separate from the motion thing. Is that gyro? It doesn't support gyro controls. Okay, I see what you're saying. For games that had you, like, aiming something, compared to what the Wii U and Switch did with, like, some Zelda games, Splatoon does this. What you're talking about is moving like a cursor by tilting the controller. And the Wii Remote, it's true the Wii Remote doesn't do that, but it's got gyroscopes in it that it uses for other functions in games, I would say. Okay, I like this one a lot. This is Ocarina of Time Link pulling the Master Sword. And as it gets difficult, the ending animation changes. So our first one is Adult Link, although he looks quite lanky. This is my favorite one on level 2. He goes a bit too far with this one. You pull the sword out, he turns into old man Link with a big beard. That's just amazing. I love that. And then level 3, he becomes the cuckoo. Oh, Gibbon is making a distinction between a gyroscope and an accelerometer, which is what I'm talking about. The whole point of the Wii Motion Plus attachment is that it was a true gyroscope. Oh, I see what you mean. In that case, I was mistaken. I apologize. There's a lot of technical stuff in a Wii Remote, and I guess I misspoke. All right. There's one other really cool thing in here, and it's the boss minigame. Did you see that little pause? That's because of the format of the game that I'm using. Causes little hitches in loading sometimes, especially when 3D graphics are involved. The simpler micro games, it loads up quick. Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. So this is like, what I love about this is it's a very specifically SNES Star Fox styled game, but it's almost like a full stage. Not a full stage, it's quite short by Star Fox standards, but by WarioWare standards, it's huge. And like, it's all new, it plays so smoothly. And then the boss at the end is Rob with the bloody nest zapper. Isn't that so cute? I love this game. I'm sorry. That's just great. And then there's the space level. Like, it's all new stuff. There's dialogue happening from the characters. Like, imagine if Star Fox actually played as smoothly as this too. That's the other thing. Anyway. I think there's patches you can get that boost its frame rate by expanding on the SNES's original capabilities. An enemy is approaching. They even had the little voice clip. The accelerometer can detect the orientation of the Wii Remote, which, as we can see in this, has a ton of use still. Yeah, so, okay, so the Wii Remote doesn't have a gyroscope, but the accelerometer can detect the orientation, which is the tilting function. What's the function? So I guess shaking is also using the accelerometer then. Woo! You can tilt by tilting. Isn't that cool? I love having this Mayflash sensor bar. It really helps. Oop. Again, not sponsored content. I just find it very helpful. So this must be Ficina, right? And we're up to 4 cubes that we have to destroy now. Oh, the SNES colored buttons. That's great. I didn't check what orientation they were in, whether it matched the Super Famicom controller, but yeah, good stuff. Alright, I guess that's all I wanted to show off in here, although I might as well show off the Balloon Trip full minigame. In addition to micro games, there's a handful of mini games in Smooth Moves. This one uses the balance stone or the nunchuck. And yeah, it's like, this is what I was thinking of when I misremembered that Clu Clu Land had a mini game. Which again, I feel really terrible about getting that so wrong. But yeah, the nunchuck is not as advanced as the Wii Remote, but it does have shake functionality to it. Waggle trigger is detecting multiple rapid changes in orientation, says Gibbon about the shaking abilities of the Wii Remote. I just want to show this fish. I love the fish. It's so grody. Wait, is that... Do you think... What were they called again? Those fish that you said that Bubbles might be? Stargazer. You think this is a stargazer fish? Okay. Well, with those 3 micro games, we've now covered all the Clu Clu Land representation that there has been in WarioWare so far, to my knowledge. Which means we're going to move on to the next thing. I can unplug this. Oh, my desk is such a mess right now with all these controllers and things cluttering up the joint. All right, just move back into position. Okay. There's one more appearance of bubbles that I want to show off. In this portion of the stream. And that is... Bubbles is a costume in Mario Maker. I'm not going to play Mario Maker though. Ta-da! Just kidding, there's a better one. And it's this. Click, 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 just gotta get there. Ding, dong, merrily on high. Here we have a big, huge Bubbles playable appearance in a GBA game by Payon. It's DK King of Swing. So DK King of Swing is really fascinating. It's basically a modern interpretation of Clu Clu Land gameplay. The Kongs use their 2 hands to grab onto pegs to swing around them. In acknowledgement of... Wait a minute, what? Where's my save file? It's probably... it's probably a different emulator core that I used before. Yeah, it was MGBA. I picked the wrong one. I went back to the GBSP, the SP one that I needed to use for the tilted patch. But if I do this, it should work. Hopefully. Oh, good. So I downloaded this file from the internet. It's got everything completed, which you need to unlock Bubbles. In adventure mode, you only play as DK until you unlock Diddy for Diddy mode. That's like a harder mode you do afterwards. If you complete Diddy mode and get all the medals in the game, basically doing everything. RetroArch is convenient, but it has problems. Yeah. Yeah, if you do everything, then you unlock Bubbles. So what I'm going to do is play every event in the Jungle Jam as our girl Bubbles, plus some events that are not normally accessible in-game. You'll see. Okay, so it gives you like these other computer players to compete against. I find it convenient for certain reasons. So anyway, Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, but you have so many other Kongs playable in this mode, which I love. It's such a cool feature, and I just wish they were available in the base game too. But Dixie's here, Funky's here, a Critter is here, K. Rool is here, even Wrinkly Kong's ghost. But best of all, we have Bubbles, reprising her role as heroine from Clu Clu Land, coming in with her 4 jump and 4 attack. Pretty good all-rounder there with the stats. The best balanced stat-wise character. It randomly assigns the other ones, and let's go. So they didn't really reinterpret... Oops, I forgot about that. I've got save states set up on my shoulder keys.
So if I do this, that should work, yeah. The shoulder keys are the way that you play this game. It's all you use, so yeah, if I don't have those, it's kind of a non-starter. With this one, you want to just tap lightly to get up. A lot of the time you're twirling around pegs, but yeah, should I try and go for first in every event? That might take a while. I guess I'll try it. There's a little pause when you grab a peg though, so you don't want to go too hard on it. You want to get as much speed as you can out of your initial swing. There's a real art to it. And this is the simplest course that's just a straight line drag race, which might even be the hardest thing to deal with, really. But yeah, I just love seeing Bubbles here as an acknowledgement of what this game was riffing on, and getting her to come back in a new game. It's awesome. Yeah, I just regret that they didn't reinterpret her the way they did all the DK characters, who look so good in this art style. It's no surprise that there's so much fan art reinterpreting Kongs into this style. So I got a new record, but I still didn't win. Maybe because K. Rool's sprite is just too big. That's got to be part of it. Yeah, like the fan art of Kong characters in this style is awesome to see. It's been used as the basis for fan games as well, and more on that in a coming stream. But the DK Bay is the big one that comes to mind, is a full game that was done with characters in this style, with new animations made to match platforming gameplay. But yeah, I would have loved to see Bubbles looking like the Kongs do in these games for her playable appearance. Come on, I got to have made it. Yes, I did. Oh, thank goodness. I wanted to see if she had a little animation. There's not much, but I think all of her sprites here are taken directly from the original game. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They all are. There's nothing new here, which is a shame. I showed you the Mario Maker sprite as a little gag there, but at this point I want to swap back to that. Because this is not dissimilar to the Payon King of Swing style, to be honest. And something like this, I think, would have been really appreciated by me when they put her in King of Swing, but oh well. What's done is done. Okay, Climbing Race 2 is up next. They're always going to put me against K. Rool, aren't they? Yeah, they did. They made new sprites in Mario Maker. Gibbon says that's a surprise. But yeah, I don't know how you could... Like, you would have to make new sprites for her, because in this game, you're often seeing them as if it's top-down because they've got their back to you and grabbing pegs to move on that 2D plane, whereas a side-scroller is a completely different look. You've got like one or two side-on sprites for Bubbles for the results screens, but like having her have a full platformer moveset, she just doesn't have it with her existing sprites, so you would have to make new ones, and when you're doing that, you might as well then, I guess, redesign her a bit, which is what they thought. I wish I could play Mario Maker as her as part of this stream, but I just don't have the capabilities for it. I know that Wii U is like emulatable, but I just haven't done that ever, so yeah, sorry. It would be good to show that off, but it's not within the purview of this stream, unfortunately. And considering the difficulty of these events, I might just show the event and not try to win the event. Because yeah, they're getting... Well, they started difficult and it's only getting harder.
This would be probably a lot of fun in multiplayer against other humans. The CPUs are just too good though. That's alright. What are you doing, Dixie? You trying to throw me off? There is a maneuver you can do like this. I've never seen that. That's amazing. So in King of Swing, when you grab 2 pegs and then hold A to charge, you then do a jumping attack. In Bubble's case, she actually shoots out her electric shockwaves, which is so good. I'm so happy with that. Oh, very pleased. Ooh, Gibbons found a video showcasing Bubbles in Mario Maker. Okay, I'll load that up on the stream when we're done here with King of Swing. That's great. Thanks for finding that. I'll just click that one. And I'll put that one up when we're done here. Okay. Oh, undersea. Lovely. Bubbles is in her natural environment as a fish. She must have an advantage, surely. Yeah, I think the climbing ones are my least favorite. I just don't really know how to do them well. In this drag race style that I mentioned. Okay. But yeah, this is a cool feature. I don't know if Jungle Climber had the sequel Jungle Climber on DS. I don't know what multiplayer features it had, but this whole jungle jam thing is fun, and it ties into the plot of the game a little bit as well. Because the jungle jam is like... Ooh, there we go. The jungle jam gives out the medals, and K. Rool is jealous of the medals and steals them or something. I don't remember. It's a bit of an excuse plot. Not really important, but... Okay, we're moving on to obstacle races now instead of climbing races. Crates block your way in this course. Try to break them before your foes. This is where that attack is going to come in. If you're probably really quick, you might be able to use it during the climbing race to knock down an opponent, but often you just don't have the time to do it. They would get ahead of you. There we go. Actually, I might just sneak in behind DK here. There we go. No! I think I came last. Third, okay. Oh well. Also note that Bubbles doesn't have voice clips like the Kongs do. That's another sad thing. But, oh well, it's fine. Course of moving panels. Oh, they all have little blurbs. A simple and straight jungle course. Who's the fastest in the jungle? A simple jump course. It's all about timing those jumps. A course of small panels in a row. Don't miss those jumps. An underwater course. Only accurate jumps will get you through quickly. A narrow course. Block your opponents to reach the goal first. Crates. Block your way in this course. Try to break them before your foes. A course of moving panels. Time your jumps to their movement pattern. Okay. Obstacle race 2. Does Bubbles have a unique sound for grabbing the pegs? No, she doesn't. There's got to be some trick that I'm not getting about climbing fast. But I did okay there because they got stuck on the obstacles and I got through them pretty quick. Obstacle race 3. Blast through the crates to reach the goal first. Can do. We're getting a nice showcase of the different backgrounds that are in the base game as well here. Because there's a whole set of worlds in the story mode that you go through. Whoops. Also, yeah. King of Swing can feel a bit clunky if you're used to Jungle Climber, the sequel, which has an attack button that you can just hit straight off without having to hold onto 2 pegs and charge up. It's a lot more... snappy and immediate in that way. That's a great idea if Gibbon is going to make a Super Clu Clu Land thing. Ripping the Mario Maker sprites is a good place to start, yeah. Sorry, I fumbled. Obstacle Race 4, a jump course with blast barrels. Get in that barrel before your opponent. So let me show you what a blast barrel is supposed to look like, unlike what WarioWare DIY Showcase had. They look like this. Boom. Ah. And she does her electric shockwave while in the barrel. And coming out of it too. I fell behind there, so got to those barrel bottlenecks and got stuck, but that's okay. Hey. Okay. So we're on a new type of event now. The attack battle. Get more attacks on your foes than they get on you. Watch out for counters. What's a counter? I don't know what that means. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. Ah! Oh, what a cool music track. Oh, we rammed into each other. Is that a counter? Oh, come on. Whoops. Ugh. Oh man, really? No! I got no points? None at all? Dang. Oh well. Let's try it in a new arena. Get more attacks on your foes than they get on you. Watch out for thorns. But no, it's not bramble, sadly. It's cacti. Oops. I was looking at Dixie and thinking I was her. Wishful thinking, I guess. Ow, quit it. I don't know if I ever did all these when I played King of Swing for myself. K. Rool's sound when he gets hurt. I think it's reused from the Donkey Kong Country games. It's a kremling sound. Oh, what's that? Oh, we're getting birthday presents in the mail for somebody. I did quite well that time. Not as well as the king himself. He sure looks a lot goofier in Payon's version than he does in Rare's. I think I know what it is, based on where it came from. Okay, get more attacks on your foes than they get on you. Water slows you down. Well, it shouldn't slow me down, I'm a bloody fish, mate. Should be faster than ever. When they say watch out for counters, is that just like a counter as in an opponent moving out of the way and then hitting you back or something? I don't know. I don't think counter is a registered maneuver that you can do in the game. It's just about positioning and stuff, I think. This music track's great though. Very chiptune. Not quite like the rest of the soundtrack, which is that kind of sampley GBA stuff. Well, I guess it alternates. It had both styles in there. Alright, next. The Barrel Blast 1. Break the most barrels. Predict where the barrels will show up next. How can you predict that? It's got to be random, right? Oops. Okay, that's one. Yeah. I don't know what having a higher attack stat really means. Do my attacks go longer or do they charge faster? I think there's a reason that whoever made this save file used Dixie to do all the good times on the Jungle Jams, because she has like attack is her dump stat and you can get by even with a low attack. But she's got better jump than everyone else, which must help a lot, especially on the climbing races. Wow, I did terribly. Oh well. Barrel Blast 2. Break the most barrels, find a good spot, and camp out on it. Okay. I'll take that advice. Normally I don't like spawn camping, but if it's just barrels... Oh, is it going to be here every time? I love that she does the shockwave. That's such a... Yeah. It's just... It's good. This is a good game. In the DK fandom, we always have our debates about whether King of Swing or Jungle Climber is better. I normally take the 2 cakes approach, where... Oh, here we go. Here's Bubbles in a side-scroller, by the way. I forgot you could do this. You can just walk side to side on the floor, and she just kind of wobbles. Yeah, like King of Swing and Jungle Climber are both good in different ways. That's all there is to it. Yeah, it does look very awkward, doesn't it? T-posing around. Okay, color capture. Change the panels to your color. Don't let your foes box you in. You'll notice that I'm playing the American version of the game. By the spelling of color. Okay. Oi, Funky. Funky's taking all my squares. This is an interesting one, this territory control game. There you go, it's just like Splatoon, Gibbon. Oh, this is frantic. Your fortunes can change so quickly. Come on. No, get over there. No! Don't you dare. I was in the lead for a bit there. Yeah, that's a good point. Clu Clu Land has always been about territory control, says Gibbon. If you want to... she said, should ROM hack in the Mario Maker sprites? I don't know about putting them in this game unless you completely replace the existing Bubble sprites here, because they look quite different. Like, Bubbles has an outline in Mario Maker and she doesn't here, for example. Alright, now I said before there are secret code events. There's Jungle Jam events in this game that you can't find in the menu. You have to enter a secret code to unlock them. How do you do that exactly? Huh? Where do I enter my code? Hold on, I gotta look this up. I wrote down the codes, but I didn't write down where they should go. There's 3 extra events. You can access arbitrary levels by entering... Oh, you gotta use a cheat device. Oh no, there's a password screen. Okay, yep, cool. Okay, so on the title screen, you press up... Wait, what do you press? Up, L, B, and A. Up, L, B, A. What? No. No. Up, L, B, and A. Huh? There we go. Wait, no? This is... No, no. Stop doing this. What are we doing? Sorry, I'm getting confused with the buttons. That's the problem. The buttons on my controller are wonked. Okay. Oh, I was on the wrong screen. Yeah, I was on the title screen. I was on the select screen. Okay. Password time. Easy peasy. 3, 5, 805255. I said, wait, what? 3580225 unlocks a new event. Oh, it's already been entered in this save file. All right, well, they're already there. Go to the cutting room floor to find them out. I already played them. I thought this was going to be an extra feature, but I already did it. Let me just double check that. So I should have unlocked Climbing Race 5. Yep, that's that one. The narrow course. Obstacle Race 4. The Blast Barrels. And Attack Battle 3, which was underwater. Yeah, so you unlock those with codes, which you get from a secret password menu on the title screen. That's bizarre. Okay, well, there they were, and that's how you unlock them. And then there's number codes, which you can find on tcrf.net. Huh. I feel a bit deflated. That's all right. All right, let's watch that Mario Maker thing. So thank you to Master of Hyrule for capturing this footage. And these aren't done by amiibos or anything else. They're done by completing single-player content in the game. Blah, 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 blah. Bubbles. Okay, let's just watch this. I love that tooth that is sticking out. Okay, so her skidding animation has her grabbing the pole. She flattens down by ducking. She looks really strange in profile, I gotta say. It's pretty odd. Is that it? Yeah, she's got that unique... The music jingles from the original game. Flipping her little tiny arms around. Very cute. Okay, I guess that's it. Yeah, not much, but I do like that everyone has their own little animations and stuff. And they even put the jingles in based on what character they are. So, cute, good stuff. You can play as Bubbles in Mario Maker 1, but not the 3DS version and not the sequel. Alright. Now, Gibbon, you probably thought that was it, but I did a little quick search this morning for any indie games I could find that were based in any way on Clu Clu Land, and that was just a simple search. So there's probably more out there that I have not found, but here on Game Jolt, we've got Mac, that's 5 A's and a Mac, with a little Clu Clu Land demo in HTML5. Remember the Clu Clu Land? We do. This was done in 2015, and it's only in an alpha state, but yeah, let's see what AMAC made for us here. There's 3 versions, and they're all pretty different. So this one seems like it was meant to be played by 2 people holding one smart device, which is always a really cool way of making a game, I reckon. They've given it the theme of sheeps and the extra theme of it being a soccer match. So we have to move this ball around, which is quite a lot to stuff into this little demo. It's a simplified control scheme compared to what Clu Clu Land had originally, where you only control your left and right arms instead of pushing in the direction that you want to start spinning. So it's actually in some ways easier to get your head around. And adding this soccer component too is a lot of fun as an alternate play mode. Yeah, so it's pretty far away from the original theme, but it's riffing on the same gameplay. So sheep playing soccer is not really like fish trying to get gold from sea urchins, but yeah, it's a cute little game. I like this one. This is a 2-player game, or it should be, so I've been just controlling one person while the other one moves back and forward, but yeah, that's pretty cute. I don't know if there's any end state. Oh, the time is ticking down, so we're nearly there. But yeah, any damage results in an instant respawn. There's no penalty on that front. Game over. Draw. And then there's the reset. Oh, there's a music track now. Oh, sorry about the explosion. Oh, it's tricky with a mouse to do this properly. To go between the two controls. Oops. I think that was an own goal. I've done own goals before. It's a horrible feeling, honestly. Yes, dribble it up the sideline. They'll never see it coming. Oh, now it's stuck in the corner. I think I just did a corner kick. Well, I think... So I showed you there were 3 separate builds of this on the page. This might actually be the most developed one. So I'm probably doing them in the wrong order, but that's okay. They all had the same build number, so that kind of confused me. Game over. Oh no. Yeah, we can do that. No?
Too close to church time.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Ask them what else they have. Dang. Okay. July 20, August 10, September 12. Yeah, I should have looked at the dates. See, they're all the same version though. Alright. Clu Clu. By the way, this is called Clu Clu Arcade. And then it's Prototype 2 and then Alpha. So we're going... Now let's go back in time directly. So we'll go through earlier reversions. But this one is actually easier to deal with on a keyboard. So it's got those hazards instead of mosquitoes. Those pink squares are the bombs. It's a lot easier to control, honestly. But it does still use that same left-hand, right-hand control scheme, which is good. But instead of the soccer thing, like theme and method of play, it's more like an avoid 'em up. You're just trying to get out of the way of hazards and survive longer than the other player. So it's quite a different type of game, really. Just that they haven't implemented all the graphics yet. Yeah. And then the earliest version is this one, before the graphics had been implemented, and we had just a green and a blue square, which, ironically, much closer to Bubbles and Gloopy, who were also blue and green. Obviously, that's the inspiration here. They're not hiding what the game is inspired by, but yeah, it's all here. The pink square doesn't have yellow dots on it, but everything else is the same, and the goal is the same, is to outlast your opponent. And the score just ticks down. I don't know. I guess that wasn't implemented properly yet. Yeah. You can bump into each other. Oh no. Oh, it does have dots, but they're transparent. Okay, so that's cool. Didn't get very far, but that's alright. Yeah. Would like to try that out on a tablet with another person. That would be the ideal way to play it. And finally, the last thing I was able to find for today's journey, on itch, Proper Pigeon has a game called Clu Clu Land Alpha 0.1 for a first year university assignment. Action. Yep, not much information there. This person's given it a 3 out of 10. That's a bit harsh, I think. Let me show you what Proper Pigeon was able to cook up for us. Where is it? This one. So let me just capture that window. What? Yeah, this one. I guess it's a Java-based implementation. So yeah, it's pretty close to the original in terms of the presentation, although they've smoothed out quite a lot for that logo and for the in-game graphics. What are my controls? Yep, it's WASD. And yeah, it's pretty close to the original game. Uniras have just been replaced by blue bubbleses. But that's okay. An efficient reuse of graphic tiles. There's no sound, but and like the animation is pretty basic, but I think it's kind of cool. Like the stretchy arm thing kind of looks funny. There's got to be a way to shoot out the electric shockwave. Hold on. Is there a README? Hold on. There's a font file. There's no README. Okay, I'll just have to figure it out. Okay, so WASD to move, space, enter, control. Wait. Oh. Q, E, P. Ah! I'm like mashing everything. I don't know if there is a button for this. Click, maybe? Oh, it's even got this screen. That's nice. Let's see what a 2-player game looks like. Oh, I pressed down and it didn't move. I'll try again next time I'm there. I'm still trying to find the button for shockwave, if it exists. I'm pressing a lot of things on my keyboard. Function keys? No. I guess that has not been implemented. Oh, it made a noise. Did it lose focus? All right, I'm just gonna guess that it's not working. Wait, what? All right, I'm relaunching it. It stopped accepting my inputs. Something went wrong. Can I not select 2-player game? Apparently not. Okay, they haven't implemented 2-player game. What? It's completely stopped letting me do anything. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This is going to be really hard if I can't defeat any blue bubbleses. But let me see. Do you think they've implemented multiple patterns? This looks like the Love Heart one again. So it's using the same control scheme as the original. The same like game systems and everything, but with this new kind of smooth look to the graphics, which is cool. Modern, updated for the modern era. I wonder if they've included multiple stages. Let's find out. I'm going to let this play out because it says press enter to return to menu. Yeah, it might just be that. That might be it. I think that's it. It does record your top score. Oh, and where did I find the information about? So the comment that person left is from 2017, so it would have been released around 2017 or earlier. That's all we know about that. Oh no, 2016 I've got written here. How did I find that out? There used to be a thing in here in these info boxes on itch that would tell you the release date and the update date. Where it's, I think it's somewhere. I'm not sure. Oh, was it like the date on the files in the download? Maybe. No. Oh yeah. Date modified, 31st of the 5th, 2017. So that's the release date. Okay. Let's do one more. And that'll be the end. Looks like they've only implemented the one pattern. But yeah, like, as far as game systems go, they've got it down apart from the attack. So definitely could have been the basis for a remake of some kind. As a university project, it's quite playable. Ding. Alright, and this concludes our odyssey through Clu Clu Land. We've been through all 3 versions of the original one, and Bubbles' earlier appearance in Versus Pinball International. We've seen the WarioWare recreations, all 3 of them, Twisted, DIY Showcase, and Smooth Moves. We've seen Bubbles' Jungle Jam appearance in King of Swing, and we've seen some indie implementations of the gameplay. As well as mentioning Zelda and Mario Maker along the way. As far as I know, that's everything there is to know about Clu Clu Land, really. Contained in 1 2.5 hour stream. Of course, if you wanted to play through the original game and see all the different level types, that's another story. I will leave you with this image of Bubbles looking her best, kicking butt, swinging on poles, finding buried ingots of gold. So, yeah, happy birthday, Gibbon. Congrats. Nintendo's first heroine, yeah. I think we have established that, barring further evidence. Great to shine a spotlight on Bubbles. The manual in English language does acknowledge her gender. Not sure about the Japanese. They don't have gendered pronouns the same way we do, so it might be harder to tell. But yeah, really pleased with that little surprise fact of today. And yeah, thanks for prompting this stream. I'm very happy to do that for you, and hopefully it made your day a little bit better. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. Next time, more Donkey Kong fan games. It's happening, because it always happens. It always comes back. So until then, have a good one. And I'll see you in the jungle. Bye-bye.